Good evening from Ballinger Park. Amy Webster here to share in the excitement for what should be a compelling final fixture of the regular season. Knights stand one win away from the Premiership, and tonight's round 27 league fixture gives them a second chance to seal the title after last week's missed opportunity. Sunshine Coast Wanderers are hosts for the evening. They are locked into 7th place, but that hardly reflects the strides they've made. A season built on continuity, culture and a core group that has grown together as the season has progressed. Both sides coming into this one off the back of 2-0 defeats, both with something to prove and both very eager to finish on a high. For Knights, it's silverware on the line. For Wanderers, it's the statement of a club on the rise. Let's have a look at both team lineups for this evening. Starting as always with our officials. Referee for this evening, Emily Weber, assisted by Liam Russell, Craig Goodall, and our fourth official for the evening is Piper Jenkins. Our home side, in between the sticks, Daisy Leverance, Jess Stafford wears the number 2, Piper Vigilic number 6, Macy Edward number 9, Tail Danger number 10, 14 is Freya Partridge Moore, 15 Tihani Webber, 16 Katie Shearer, 18 Jojo Alonso, 19 Beck Horsey, and the captain armband as always, and 27 Ida Ockerson. That sees Jess Doyle drop to the bench, 5 goals to her name for this current campaign. And for the visitors Knights, Emily Clark in between the sticks, Corey Kane, Holly Palmer in the starting lineup once again, Claire Farrington, Amy Morland, Robin Spilsbury, Harriet Withers, Paloma Oliveira, Eri Takamura, Bronte Rose and Hinata Yamaguchi. So some missing personnel this evening for Glyn Boyd's side will include Catano, McGilligan, Jessie Rashart, Ash Adamson, Zara Boyd and Rosie Malone. Rosie Malone, who I'm happy to report got herself back on the pitch, got a spell in the under-23s against Eastern Suburbs the start of the month. How good to see Rosie Malone back out there kicking a football. Congratulations to you, Rosie. And this is it, folks. We have somehow found ourselves already here at round 27. I think I blinked and missed it, but here we are, and Knights chasing their second successive silverware. What a couple of years in the NPL Gold Coast Knights have had. Sunshine Coast Wanderers will be wanting to spoil the party here this evening, I would assume. Knights have started well. Withers and Oliveira already linking up in the starting stages. Ockerson caught in possession there, allowing Oliveira and Morland to get involved. All the way through, and it's Bronte Rose with an early attempt. Goal kick to Sunshine Coast Wanderers. Bit of Wonderwall to get us started here at Ballinger Park. The fans always in good voice. Oliveira. Across the face of goal. It's going to be left for skipper Morland. all the way back for Farrington. So a little shuffle of the pack for Glyn Boyd's side. No Paige Taylor or Jessie Rashart. Paige Taylor is on the bench this evening. Morland with a strike. And straight into the gloves it goes. Of course, with this being the final fixture of the round, all of our round 27 fixtures kicking off at 6:30 p.m. I will keep my eye around the grounds as best I can for the evening. Oliveira trying to wriggle her way through there, but bumped into a sea of orange. And all the way through it goes to the keeper. Now, the Premiership is not the only silverware on the line for Knights this evening. Harriet Withers, she's been sitting pretty at the top of that race for the Golden Boot for a fair few weeks. And then along came Anna Salisbury, who's been lurking in the shadows for a fair few rounds and scored a penalty in the midweek make-up fixture against Gold Coast United. It's taken her into top spot with 20 goals, so I'll be keeping my eye across the fixtures this evening, see who's going to finish with the majority of the goals. Lions went into that round 18 fixture hoping to get the 3 points and hoping to go 1 point within reach of Knights coming into this final fixture, but Lions were indeed tamed by Gold Coast United. They did have Libby Cebulski sent off in the first half. They were 1-0 down, and the Lions indeed went 1-1 up. It was a late equaliser from United to see that one finish spoils shared. Would have been a disappointing end to that fixture for Nick Whiteside and his side. They were well within the race to close that gap. And this evening, Lions and Eastern Suburbs still with a chance to go equal on points with Knights if Knights are defeated here this evening. Withers comes forward. It will be the goal difference. If top three finish on 55, it's the goal difference that is the mountain to climb. 9 points behind or 9 goals behind for Lions, and a goal difference of 20 to chase for Eastern Suburbs. It is well within Knight's hands as Withers sends that in towards the back post, nodded away again by Piper Vidulik. Spilsbury striding forward to keep the ball down this end. And Webber plays Horsey across, plays that one off Oliveira, so it will be a Wanderers throw. Lions have made the trip to Nudgee Recreation Reserve. They play QAS in their final fixture, and Eastern Suburbs have travelled to Perry Park to play South Strikers. Heavy touch there from the keeper. Nearly caused a little bit of bother there, which Oliveira would have been happy to leap on that loose ball. The Wanderers, they are back with their foot on the ball. Palmer causing a bit of trouble now. Holly Palmer, been in fine form since coming back from injury, has a shot on target, but not too troublesome for Daisy Leverance. Knights have certainly come into this one with a pep in their step. They've had plenty of the ball in the Wanderers' half so far. Ball forward, rolls all the way behind for a goal kick. So looking at the table as things stand this evening, Knights in first spot, Lions sitting in second, Eastern Suburbs, who look to have just scored against South, so Eastern Suburbs will jump ahead of Lions on the ladder. And Brisbane City, they will finish up in fourth spot. If we compare that to this time last year, the final fixtures saw the final table Gold Coast Knights in first, Eastern Suburbs second, Brisbane City in third, Lions in fourth. And our hosts this evening, Sunshine Coast Wanderers, they finished a couple of positions higher on the ladder in the 2025 campaign. They finished in fifth with 12 wins from 27. Sunshine Coast Wanderers, their president Glenn Duncan, managed now by Tony Skinner, formerly of Mitchelton. They have been very clear in early season communication that their priority for the foreseeable future is player development and investing in local talent. Plenty of homegrown players in this Sunny Coast Wanderers side. Ball in from Rose, cut out by Partridge Moore. Now it goes wide, stolen there. In it comes to Withers. And it's Palmer that gets a strike on it. Wasn't quite a clean one, but it was a strike all the same. Spilsbury with the throw. All the way back to Claire Farrington, still sporting that strapping on that left quad, but it hasn't seemed to stop her. She's been playing out the 90 minutes. And a consistent, solid figure at the back. Claire Farrington. Looks like it's Hinata Yamaguchi who's dropping back in defence. Takamura with a left foot strike, might have another crack at it here, sends it in, lofted towards the back post. Intended target, Harriet Withers, just sitting back a little there. Beck Horsey with the clearance. Takamura. Oliveira does well, keeps the ball at the feet of her side with Palmer. Palmer across to that right back position, occupied currently by Kane. Knights in their dark away strip. Farrington. Across it goes to the Canadian Robin Spilsbury. A couple of seasons under her belt in the colours of Gold Coast Knights, Robin Spilsbury, and another one who just seems to have settled in pretty well into that back line. Amy Morland dropping into that holding position. Nice footwork there from Oliveira and Palmer. Something for Withers to chase. Withers up against Jess Stafford. Sends it in to Yamaguchi. Good football here from Knights. Yamaguchi with a left foot effort. A little bit tempted there, Hinata Yamaguchi, to go for glory, and it was well watched there and was going wide of the mark. The opportunity there for Daisy Leverance to send the ball downfield. All the way back it goes from Palmer. Deflected from Palmer. Can Macy Edward have a strike? She can, but it's caught by the keeper. Ooh, early scare there for Knights. It's moments like that where Glyn Boyd's going to want to see his side stay switched on. It was just off the back of Ida Åkesson that sent the ball back into the path of Wanderers with Macy Edward. We know that she can score. Looking for her 11th of the season this evening. Nice skill there from Bronte Rose. Oliveira happy to put the work in and drop. Danger. Tracks that one back well. Stafford can get forward. Seen Stafford happy to make those runs down this left side. Recent fixture against Lions was a 2-0 loss, but saw plenty of Jess Stafford getting further upfield on the left side in the support play role. So we'll keep an eye out for that sort of movement from the number 2 this evening. Jess Stafford started her career here at Sunshine Coast Wanderers aged 13, and she's been lucky enough to have Beck Horsey, who's her current captain. She's had her as her coach as she's progressed through the ranks here at Sunny Coast Wanderers, so that will show you just how tight this team is at Sunshine Coast Wanderers. Anna Soulsby intent on getting her name etched into that Golden Boot trophy. Is already 2 goals to the good for her side. Lions 2-0 up in their fixture against the academy side. Both goals going to Anna Soulsby. That will be work to do for Withers, but I'm sure that's the last thing on her mind this evening. She'll just want to secure the premiership for her side. Soulsby in her first season in the Australian League. Goals flying in around the grounds already this evening. Eastern Suburbs have already put 2 past Souths. Gold Coast United host Brisbane City. That game currently 0-0. Olympic hosting Kapalaba. It's also a 0-0 scoreline. Ida Åkesson with the unorthodox stomach down with the ball. Something there for Edward to chase. Farrington just making sure. Jojo Alonso trying to send that one flying into the box. She's won her side a corner. And all of a sudden, Wanderers pushing, putting the pressure on inside the Knights half. 16 minutes played here at Ballinger Park. Comes a bit of a fortress here once the fans get in full voice. Really wanting to get behind their side here this evening. In towards the near post. It's a clunky clearance, but it's a clearance all the same. Oliveira just sticks a boot through it, trying to get rid. Stafford is the recipient. Jess Stafford forcing her way through. Rose picks it up, scrappy in the middle. And Eri Takamura says, let's just get this out of there, and sends it downfield for Withers. Wanderers have got time to get players back now as Oliveira just holds the ball up. And it goes. Bronte Rose, Withers will chase, and Daisy Leverance gets there first. way back to tail danger. Farrington. Stafford is all over the park, getting tight on the back there of Bronte Rose. Nada Yamaguchi on the right side. He's got bodies in the box to aim for, goes back to Palmer. Knights moving the ball around well under pressure. Great pressure there from Jojo Alonso. Back in the mix it goes from Farrington. Oliveira up against Stafford, who's switched over to that right side position. Oliveira with a cheeky little nutmeg, but Stafford gets a foot in the end, doesn't want to be made a fool of, and forces the ball back out. Knights still have it with Withers. She turns and doesn't bring the ball with her. Rose. Oliveira with a strike. Oliveira with a second bite of the cherry. Can't quite connect, and into the gloves it goes. Chances building here for Gold Coast Knights. We're queuing up there in the end. Nodded on by Morland. Alonso getting back to do the defensive graft. Partridge Moore sends it downfield. That will be throw-in for Knights. The season proper may well be coming to a close, but the football does not stop here. Knights will be back in action next weekend. The Queensland Cup final on the 22nd of August. That will be at Spencer Park. It'll be a Gold Coast derby. So if you find yourself at a loose end hanging around Brisbane next weekend, get yourself down to Spencer Park. See some quality football on display between two stellar sides from down the coast. The search for silverware will continue. And then of course, however these fixtures finish up this evening will determine what that final series will look like on Saturday the 12th, Friday the 11th and Saturday the 12th. We'll see some finals football. For now, Harriet Withers sending another corner into the box and collected by the keeper. So of course, in the final series, first will play second in a qualifying final, third will play fourth in the elimination final, and then there will be the preliminary final and the grand final. Takamura has a hit and sends that one wildly over the bar. Bills break tracking back. Piper Vigilik using her pace to get there ahead of Farrington, forcing Farrington to just stick a toe on that one and send it behind for a corner kick. Chances at either end of the park at the moment here at Ballinger Park. It will be Jojo Alonso, the American winger, to stroll across, get herself set to take this one. And it comes from Alonso, sent deep. It's Corey Kane with a head on it, sent back in, cleared away and fired wildly over the bar. It was a big horsey effort. See there, it was Corey Kane that nodded that one away. Harrington couldn't quite get a body position to clear it. Horsey sent that one over the crossbar. Oliveira trying the turn. Oliveira putting the pressure on. Ball is cleared and it's Stafford again in good space. Alonso. Out wide it goes for Edward. And good call there from Emily Clark. Clear direction is exactly what you want from your keeper. Loud and clear, she made it known that that ball was hers for the collection. Oliveira nearly muscled off the ball there by tail danger, but does well push the ball back. It is going to be a throw for Wanderers. Oliveira does get one of those cheeky little turns in. She's been dying to pull off that trick in the early stages, and she sent Takamura on her way. Takamura sends it, goes for what may have been a chip on the keeper. Certainly wasn't a cross into the path of Withers, and in the end an easy collection for Daisy Leverance. Farrington, Bronte Rose, good foot in at the back there from Partridge Moore, clears the danger. Palmer, Rose gives it back, just falls behind Holly Palmer, but she does well, doesn't have any Wanderers pressure, get the ball across to Yamaguchi through traffic. Palmer with the nod. Alonso sends it toward Moreland. So Knights have it back with their skipper. Out wide for Withers. Katie Shearer with the final touch on that one. So as things stand, Knights on 59 in this game. Currently at a stalemate. Lions and Easts jumped up to 58 points with their leads. And behind it goes for a goal kick. Of course, a draw would do here for Gold Coast Knights, but my inkling would be that Glyn Boyd would want them to go out in style, get all 3 points on the board to claim their second premiership in as many years in the NPL. Down the other end of the table, we are now certain of what that relegation playoff will be. Kapalaba, having finished in 8th spot, they will play a playoff fixture against Caboolture, who did have the chance yesterday evening. It was an exciting evening in the FQPL 1. Had the chance to take out the Premiership, and a 0-0 draw at Mitchelton saw them finish in second place. They will have to play that playoff fixture, try and get themselves into the NPL by beating Capalaba. Farrington sends this free kick in towards Withers. All the way through it will go. And of course, Caboolture finishing second in the FQPL 1 means a huge congratulations to Anthony Costa and his North Lakes United side. They've been sitting in second for a fair chunk of the second half of the season. Following that point deduction, they have secured promotion back into the NPL. And what an emphatic win it was. 9-0 victory over Peninsula Power. Sealed the Premiership and a return to the NPL. It's the Kappa Pro Series final and the Premiership in the cabinet for North Lakes United. Ticking into the half-hour mark here at Ballinger Park. Down the line it goes for Oliveira. She keeps it in. Takamura. Good tracking back there from Wanderers. Brisbane City, they are having a tail end of the season to forget. At the moment they are currently 1-0 down against Gold Coast United. They know their fate in terms of finishing fourth. Again, would want to go out on a high with victory down at Talabudra this evening. Got work to do to make that happen. You see Edward fires that one forward, doesn't quite get through to Piper Vidulik. Good diagonal pass, finds Withers for Knights. Withers just stalling, which now means she's got a couple of players to get past. Fires that one, Jex Stafford, the player in the way, corner kick. Eastern Suburbs with a third in their fixture against Souths. Withers sends this one long. Farrington and Kane at the back post. Rose will get there. Withers can't quite keep that one in. Little scream of frustration from Harriet Withers. She sees that one roll out for a Wanderers throw on this near side. And Wanderers return the favour, sending the ball out for a throw. Katie Shearer pushing that one behind. Lions heard about East's third and said, whatever you can do, we can do too. So they are now 3-0 up against the Academy side. No goals yet here between Wanderers and Knights. Knights are on the attack here with Hinata Yamaguchi. Ball across the face of goal. No Knights shirts there, and it will be a goal clearance as Daisy Leverance sends her players downfield. American born and raised, born in Ohio, moved to Australia in 2018. Daisy Leverance is the 2024 NPL Queensland Goalkeeper of the Year. And has a short-term raw deal on her resume. She's had a good season for Wanderers this season and earned herself some accolades with the Queensland State selection. or shortlisted at least. The state selected team will be announced closer to that Mitre Festival of Football that is still ahead of us once we conclude the 2026 season and see who will be crowned champion to the grand final. Goal kick for Sunshine Coast Wanderers. Buderim Rangers and Sunshine Coast Wanderers play their football here at Ballinger Park, but this year an agreement has been announced. Sunshine Coast Council to establish a permanent home ground at the new Honey Farm Road Sport and Recreation Precinct in Meriden Plains. So huge news for the development of football up on the Sunshine Coast. Very exciting to see those sorts of announcements trickle through as the season ticks along, and just to see that investment is going into football across the state. Good battling there from Amy Morland. Teal danger with the clearance. Spilsbury gets there first. The ball through there for Spilsbury. Back it comes for Withers. Withers with a strike first time. And straight at the keeper. Hands to her head, Harriet Withers. Good chance. She was trying to catch the keeper off guard. Monty Rose was lurking on the edge, but why not there from Harriet Withers? We've seen them creep into the corners. Well, on this occasion, the keeper was equal to it. Forward by Farrington. Palmer. That one goes beyond Yamaguchi and out for the Wanderers throw. 10 minutes of the first half still ahead of us. Forward by Withers. Paloma Oliveira again pulling the tricks out. That one goes behind for a goal kick. Oliveira is asking where the corner is, but that one came off her as the last touch. And for fans of the game out there, regardless of what club you support, if you're NPL League followers, do yourself a favour and check out the Sunshine Coast Wanderers webpage and their monthly magazine. Whoever puts that together at the club does a grand job of sharing news from across the club, interviews from prominent figures in football generally. We had a feature in the recent edition from David Bashir talking about the art of commentary. Certainly not come to me for any tips. Great to see them covering all sorts of topics and doing spotlights on their players in both the men's and the women's teams. This recent edition had a good spotlight on Jess Stafford, a little insight into the players at your local club. Great to see the media teams putting together features like that for the fans to stay engaged and spectators of the sport to learn a little bit about the club and those who represent it. I believe there's a word search or two at the back as well, so get yourself a pen and play along. Excellent feature from Sunshine Coast Wanderers, so well done to them. Wanderers with the possession. Stafford will take the throw. It's Alonso and Edward with the movement. Crowded out though by Knights. Touch there from Oliveira, just a little light on for her captain Morland to get hold of it, but it's gone out for a Knights throw. East's doing their best to chip away at the goal difference. They're currently 4 goals to the good against Souths. Oliveira, lovely ball forward for Withers, she'll get it back. Oliveira is trying to get through. Tight angle, she's done well. Morland can't get the strike off. Hinata Yamaguchi gets in there ahead of Ida Åkesson. Withers and Oliveira linking up well on this near side. Knights enjoying decent spells of possession in the attacking areas so far in this fixture. It's just that clinical attempt on goal that we're still to see, but Hinata Yamaguchi's driving into the box. Takamura leaves it. Oliveira tries, hesitates there, I would say, in the shots. Oliveira trying to win it back. Wanderers lose possession. In from Withers. It's getting a little scrappy in there. It's come off the back of Katie Shearer, who's been taken out. Just winded there on that effort from Harriet Withers. Gone across to check on the midfielder. Eastern Suburbs 20 shots to South Strikers 0 in their fixture. They are now 5-0 up. Lions 3-0 up away to the academy side. Gold Coast United 1, Brisbane City 0, and Olympic 2, Kapalaba 0. Olympic have just got their second. It's a home fixture for Olympic. Back underway with Palmer. Hinata Yamaguchi will get it back from Palmer down this near side. Sends that ball into the middle towards Oliveira. It's going to come out to the skipper Morland. Morland's going to have a strike. Amy Morland wide of the mark. Wasn't a bad effort from the captain. It was good footwork from the number 8 as well, just shifting it from her left to her right to get it around Ida Åkesson. And it's high fives all round down at Talabudgera as Brisbane City have found their equaliser 10 minutes out from half time. Still struggling on this near side. A little bit of treatment again here for, I believe it may be Katie Shearer just down in front. Delay in play, just giving the Wanderers faithful an opportunity to show us what they've got in the pipes. Leverance sends this one downfield. Play will now resume. Hinata Yamaguchi gets there first. Forward it goes for Oliveira. Ida Åkesson just does her best to get that out of the way. Jess Doyle is the player who has come on for Tony Skinner. Will occupy position up top. Handball there from Farrington, free kick for Wanderers. Free kick goes in. Clark collects it just as Ida Åkesson comes in trying to cause bother. Into the final minute of the 45, we will have stoppage. Withers, heavy touch, behind it goes for a goal kick. So the only goal, the only game of the round that is still goalless is the game we have in front of us. Lions have extended their lead. They have managed to put 4 past the academy side so far. Knights and Wanderers still locked at 0-0. Withers forward and offside. The flag goes up on the near side. Harriet Withers just going a little early there to receive the ball from Paloma Oliveira. Jojo Alonso protesting against that decision, but it's just a throw for Knights. Danger clears. Forward it goes for Doyle. Back it comes into the Wanderers' half, and it's switched across, stolen by Ida Åkesson, who's striding forward and tries to release Piper Vigilik. Well across is Claire Farrington. And down the line goes, conceding the throw for Wanderers, taken quickly. Ida Åkesson back to Partridge Moore. It's Tiani Webber on that right side. It's Farrington has to come across, just sort out contact lens, it looks like. And with that, the referee has had a little look at the clock and said that will do for the first half. So we are still goalless here at Ballinger Park. We have plenty of action going on around the grounds in the final fixture of the season proper. Stick with us here on FQTV. We'll take a short break and be back to see if either side can break the deadlock in the second 45. And just like that, we are back in action. Second half ahead of us here at Ballinger Park. There is the whistle to get us underway. This game is ahead of all the others by a few minutes, and it is the only game that is currently locked in at a stalemate. There's been goals galore around the grounds. Gold Coast United and City are also locked in at a draw, but not a goalless draw. They have 1 goal each, so this is the only goalless game so far. Will we see that change? And in terms of the title race, currently a draw is enough to see Knights crowned premiers, but if Sunshine Coast Wanderers can spoil the party and Lions keep on the trajectory that they have started over at Nudgee Recreation Reserve, we could well be in for some late drama here this evening, folks. Lions with a goal difference of 46 to Gold Coast Knights 50. Lions have put 5 goals past QAS so far. Salisbury with 2, Amy Gunston with 2, and Scarlett Premel with 1. That does see Anna Salisbury leap to 22 goals so far for the season, compared to Withers 19. It's been a bit of a tussle between those two for the Golden Boot. Now, of course, 45 or so minutes ahead of us here for all of that to change. It would be silly of me to make any predictions here this evening. And Knights with an early chance of attack have a free kick. They're queuing up Takamura, Morland, Withers, Palmer, all standing over this, and it's going to be sent forward from Morland. Withers sends it across straight from the training ground. That one will be a corner. It's Palmer, Takamura, Withers all passing that one by and slotted forward by Morland. So corner kick. Withers will take. Long it goes. Farrington, can she get a touch? Across it comes for Kane. It's nudged away at the back. It's Webber. Forward they come now with Piper Vigilek, stolen from Palmer. Bronte Rose. Oliveira out on the left, switch across for Takamura. She's under pressure from 2 Wanderers. She finds her skipper though. And the run forward. There's a good one there from Hinata Yamaguchi. The ball angle just not quite right from Amy Morland. So no change to the order of the table. Knights, Lions, Eastern Suburbs and Brisbane City. Yamaguchi forward for Takamura, up against Horsey. Takamura flicked across by the keeper, and Wanderers trying to pass it out there. Dangerous spot. It's fired forward in the end, and out it goes for a throw. It's an important touch there from Daisy Leverance. Out it went. Shepherded out and over halfway in the end from Sunshine Coast Wanderers. Throw in from Spilsbury. Wanderers with the throw. Farrington using her muscle. She's given away the throw. Western Suburbs have started as they finish. They've scored 7. One second half goal already. Lacey Edward across. Beck Horsey with a strike, and over it goes. As Wanderers fans find their voice once again. Nodded back by Withers. Yamaguchi trying to send it down the line. We'll have another opportunity. Forward it goes, this time from Takamura. Withers sending it forward for Oliveira to chase. She has to get through Jess Stafford. She does very well there, getting a foot on it for Spilsbury. Bronte Rose, Oliveira and Bronte Rose just getting in each other's way. Spilsbury still high up the field. Is that leaving Knight short at the back? Wanderers certainly hope so as they progress forward, but a little slip there from Doyle allows Farrington to break over halfway. She does a little tug of the shirt there, Piper Vigilic. The referee was in a great position to spot, so that's going to be a free kick for Farrington. Just going to leave this one for Holly Palmer. Kapalabar have just got one back in their fixture against Olympic. Holly Palmer sends it in towards the back post for Withers. Morland trying to get in there. Takamura throwing herself in the mix. Morland chases back. And Beck Horsey just asserts her authority and wins her side a free kick. There's captain on captain there. Amy Morland conceding the foul. Takamura downfield, Rose can't get there. Just a little reminder of the history of Gold Coast Knights. 2023 was not so long ago. It was the year that women's senior football was introduced for Knights. And the side went undefeated to win the FQPL 3 Women's South Coast title and have stormed to success since then. They've had quite the rise with the 2025 Premiership in their inaugural year in the NPL. They have the 2023 FQPL 3 South Coast Championship and Premiership to their name. The 2024 FQPL 1 Premiership and Championship, 2024 Queensland Cup winners, 2024 Kappa Pro Series winners. What a year that was. And last year they took out the Premiership. So, such a young history for the senior women's side. They have done exceptionally well under the guidance of Gary French and now Glyn Boyd. It will be a free kick. As Jess Doyle just being a little overzealous there. She tried to get by Claire Farrington. Wanderers on the attack. Piper Vigilant, heavy touch. Claire Farrington across to clear that one. Number 6 for Wanderers, Piper Vigilant. Another one shortlisted for state selection. Will be the final opportunity for most to show the state coaches what they're made of. Glyn Boyd shortlisted for the coaching position. Last year, of course, was Lachlan Long, supporting Lachlan Long, working alongside Dave De Silva. Takamura. And it goes from Takamura, nodded away. Beck Horsey just gets her studs to clear that one. Holly Palmer, patient on the ball while she looks for an option. Little shrug of the shoulders. Hinata Yamaguchi, the player to come and support. Palmer will get it back. Good skill there from Palmer. Sends it in across. Oliveira does well to get there. Cleared away from Wanderers. And Jess Doyle chase this one. Corey Kane and Farrington have got back. Piper Vigilant, Macy Edward in the middle. Throw in for Wanderers high up on the far side of the pitch. Unsurprising to see coaches from the top 4 sides, Dante Sten, Glyn Boyd, Lachlan Long and Nick Whiteside, all shortlisted to coach the state women's squad in that festival of football at the end of the year. Alonso with the ball in, collected calmly there by Emily Clark. Easts with an 8th. South strikers will be very keen to see their season come to a close. They've had a season of rebuilding, having lost a lot of key players. Of course, announced that early merger with strikers, so plenty of development work ahead for Souths as they will look to rebuild over the season break. Ball forward from Morland, clipped Oliveira. It's a little bit scrappy from both sides at the moment. Piper Vigilant trying to get hold of that one. She gets on the right side of Spilsbury. This is where Knights could be caught out as they throw players forward. Wanderers just making Knights chase the ball around a little. Corey Kane comes and sticks her boot through that one. Strong header from Farrington. Corey Kane across. Doyle. Good scrap there from Morland and Ida Okerson. Takamura round the corner for Rose. Can Withers get there? She can. Withers can't quite get around Freya Partridge Moore. Knight still in possession. Hinata Yamaguchi with a diagonal ball across. Over it goes through to the keeper. Spilsbury forward. An hour has passed us by here on the Sunshine Coast, so a big trip up the coast for Knights for their final fixture of the season. Withers, she's got Oliveira, finds Oliveira, can Oliveira find the back of the net? Oliveira, of course, can find the back of the net. Double fist pump from the number 14. And there we have the first goal of the game. And it goes to the visitors. Lovely ball forward in the end from Withers. So we see that celebration there from Paloma Oliveira. That gives them a little bit of breathing room, as Wanderers were indeed looking to create a little bit of chaos and a little bit of sweat on the brow of their opposition, but Oliveira has settled the nerves. Oliveira with her 6th of the campaign. She is just getting better and better the more she plays, Paloma Oliveira. She had a few appearances off the bench last season, and this season started in the same vein and has earned herself a number of starts for Glyn Boyd. A well-deserved start, proving her worth there. Withers striding forward once again. Corner kick for Knights. A little bit of energy injected back into the attack for Gold Coast Knights. Now they've got that 1-goal lead. Of course, takes them out of reach on 61 points, and that will certainly be how the Gold Coast Knights coaching staff and wider team will want to see them finish this evening in the Premiership with a little bit of flair in the final game of the season. Withers sends that one flat. Farrington gets ahead to it, behind it goes. Wanderers have been in fine form themselves here this evening. They've had their chances and are looking keen to catch Knights on the counter, but for now, Knights still in possession. Morland just trying to drive her way past Freya Partridge-Moore, and it comes from Oliveira. Bronte Rose, a lonely figure in the box. And Spilsbury dropping back. Macy Edward fairly deep. Takamura gets a touch on that one. It will be a Wanderers ball, but Takamura will be happy to concede that if it means the ball stays down this end of the pitch temporarily.
Keep going. Back.
Teal danger, sends that one forward. Edward straight up against Bronte Rose. Oliveira gives it out wide. Rose fires that one against the back of Webber. Rose, flat across the edge of the 18-yard box. Straight back forward from Spilsbury, but it's given away. Palmer gets it back. Good footwork there from the number 3. Withers does very well there to keep that in on the far side. Bit of pace about it to make sure she could reach it. Oliveira, lovely ball through for Withers. Jess Stafford once again just standing strong up against prolific scorer Harriet Withers. We are going to see a change here, and it will be Holly Palmer making way. 65 minutes in the tank for Palmer, and it will be Dom Spampinato to come on in the attack for Glyn Boyd's side. Doyle. Lovely little touch there from Boyd. Glyn Boyd, that is. Little cheeky bit of control on the touchline as he gets his side back underway, getting the ball back to them for a throw. And in the end, that one will roll out for a goal kick. Taken short by Daisy Leverenth. Eastern Suburbs, they are hunting double figures this evening. Perry Park, they are 9 goals up against Souths. Dom Spampinato across to Spilsbury here at Ballinger Park. Eri Takamura with ball forward. It was a little too strong for her colleagues to get on the end of. Academy side keeping Lions quiet so far in that second half. The goal remains 5-0. Spilsbury heads that one back to her keeper. Emily Clark again in fine voice, clear instruction for her centre half. And Eastern Suburbs have just done exactly what I said and found themselves in double figures with a 10th. They had quite a significant goal difference to chase, and they're doing a good job of it. Won't matter if the score stays as is though, regardless as to whether they get another 10. Eri Takamura clipped by Jess Doyle, so Wanderers attackers dropping deep in this second half as they just see Knights pushing forward, trying to extend their lead. Macy Edward dropped back. Jess Doyle, the player there, just to clip Eri Takamura. Withers, Spampinato and Morland on the edge of the box. And it goes from Eri Takamura, headed up and high. And behind it goes for a corner kick. Harriet Withers strolling over to take yet another corner. Oliveira moving there as if she wants to give a short option. Takamura does the same. Harriet Withers sends it in towards the penalty spot. This time Farrington connects and Farrington scores. Claire Farrington, she's been practicing that all evening, and this time she finds the back of the net. What a cracker. She has a smile and a half on her, Claire Farrington. She sees that one sail into the back of the net. Knights certainly coming to life in this second half. They had plenty of chances in the first, but certainly looking like they got a bit more of a spark about them in this second half as their second premiership in as many seasons is on the cusp of happening, unless there is any major upset here this evening. And over at Nudgee Recreation Reserve, they certainly will not want to be complacent. They will have no idea, I would imagine, what's going on around the grounds. They've got a job to do here ahead of them, and that's the only job that matters. Dom Spampignato, can she get there? Not ahead of the Wanderers' defence. Strong defence given away to Spilsbury. Wanderers just finding themselves unable to hold on to the ball at the moment. Spampignato, she looked like she was going to have a crack there. Withers, and Withers will have a crack, and Withers gets herself on the score sheet. Her celebration looks a little more like relief. And Withers gets it out of her feet and sneaks that one through at the near post. All of a sudden, the scoreline has opened up to 3 goals. And Harriet Withers gets herself another on her tally. Freya Partridge-Moore making way there for Sunshine Coast Wanderers. Lexi Cooper is on for Tony Skinner's side. Madison Hartley also on for Sunshine Coast Wanderers. A double change there from Tony Skinner. Corey Kane with a head. Forward it goes. Given away though for Jess Doyle. She's got a bit of room to manoeuvre. It is until Amy Morland comes along. Good determination to get back there from the skipper. Corey Kane. Macy Edward. The pressure from Hinade Yamaguchi. Edward does very well. The ball just glued to her boot there. Finds Ida Okerson. Across it goes for Piper Vigilic. Great foot in there from Robin Spilsbury. Monty Rose with room to turn. Withers 20 goals for the season. Salisbury with 22, so that race is still on. Spampignato finds Oliveira. Paloma Oliveira straight at the keeper. And Spampignato fires that one over in the end. It's nice. Searching for their 4th. Oliveira almost with too much time to think about that one. Went for power rather than placement. Kapalaba evening things up. Away to Olympic, that game. It's now 3 goals apiece. Quarter of an hour left to play here at Ballinger Park. Macy Edward. Left foot ball forward, great ball forward and trapped nicely. Corey Kane eventually got herself in the way of it. Ida Okerson picks it up in the middle. Plenty to keep our eye on across the grounds this evening. Certainly is an exciting final round of football in what has been an excellent campaign. The experience and talent on display across this league just impresses and impresses as the seasons kick on. Young talent coming through, not only from the youth sides, also seeing players progress from the academy side into club football, and the exports that come across. Ida Okerson, of course, one of the foreign imports for Sunshine Coast Wanderers alongside Jojo Alonso. Gold Coast Knights with Hinare Yamaguchi, new addition to their squad at the start of the season. We had a few additions as the season's kicked on. Jessie Rashart, Meg McGilligan, of course, having made her move down the Gold Coast. Good battle there on that far side. Farrington will come across. Gets there ahead of Doyle. Macy Edward crowded out there. Good teamwork from Hinare Yamaguchi and Amy Morland. Macy Edward gave it back a little but conceded the free kick in doing so. Macy Edward on the score sheet against Lions in their midweek fixture, scoring from the spot. Another one shortlisted for state selection. Do not envy those state selectors having to whittle that down to the final squad selection. Yeah, Eri Takamura, little smile on her face as she fires that one over the bar. It's been a very reliable figure in the middle of the park for Glyn Boyd's side all season. An absolute pleasure to watch Eri Takamura play her football. It's calm in the middle of the park. Consistently finds a successful pass. Spampiniado sends that one forward. Lovely waiting on the ball from Dom Spampiniado. It will fall eventually for Yamaguchi. Across it goes. Withers has gone more central. Oliveira working out on the edge. She'll hold it up. Happy to just play that ball around the box. In it comes. Hits the bar from Hinare Yamaguchi. Gold Coast Knights just toying with Wanderers. As we see 10 minutes or so left on the clock. They'll have to still be mindful of that counter from Wanderers. At the moment, they're enjoying their possession around the Sunshine Coast Wanderers technical goalmouth area. Behind it goes for a corner kick. Eastern Suburbs are just lumping misery upon misery on South Strikers. They now have 12 goals. Shooting practice for them over at Perry Park. Takamura, the kick taker on this occasion, plays it short for Rose. Skips around Doyle. Across it goes for Withers. Gets it on the left. Harriet Withers with a strike. Amy Morland with the follow-up and saved in the end by Daisy Leverance. Amy Morland would be very happy indeed to get herself a second for the season. She's often seen to be pulling the strings in the middle of the park. The captain, not necessarily a player that you would put pressure on to get the goals, but she's got 1 to her name from the penalty spot for the season. Oliveira, lovely ball through for Withers. And he's just cut out in the end. Fired forward from Okerson. Back in it goes from Farrington. Second half of the table, Olympic Sydney in 5th, Gold Coast United in 6th, Sunshine Coast Wanderers settled in at 7th, Palabar in that relegation playoff position in 8th, QAS in 9th, of course exempt from relegation, and South Strikers, who have just gone down, another against East, 13-0 the scoreline there now. They will finish the season with only 1 point to their name. It's been a tense battle at the top between these top 4, and it's gone all the way down to the final rounds, which is exactly what you want out of a campaign with such riches. Farrington will be a Wanderers throw. Good battle there between Claire Farrington and Piper Vigilik. Ida Okerson sends that one in. Wanderers would love to get themselves on the score sheet. As we're seeing around the grounds, you don't need a lot of time to chalk up the goals. So Wanderers would love to open their scoring here this evening and see what pressure they can put on Gold Coast Knights. It's been 3-0 victory for Knights in the round 2 meeting between these two sides, and then round 14 saw them share the points. It was 1-1, Rika Tano and Ida Okerson with the goals. No Catano in the side for a fair few games. She's been missing for Glyn Boyd's side. I'll be hoping to see her back. Jaya Brown on for Gold Coast Knights. Takamura. Support from Brown, sends that one in. So first kick of the game. Slowly but surely making her return. Jaya Brown had her own history of injury. Returned way back when in the Queensland Cup, back in round 4. Glyn Boyd, of course, giving his players time with the under-23s to get themselves back to match fitness. As mentioned at the start of this fixture, how good to see Rosie Malone get some minutes under her belt against Easts for the under-23s. Would have had to put a camera down for a few minutes. She's certainly found herself as the club videographer and photographer for this season, getting some great footage for the archives. And Jojo Alonso making way for Tony Skinner. It's going to be another double change here for Tony Skinner. And it's also Tail Danger making way. McKenna McGill just heading into the back line. Mia Cooper.
Anywhere around there.
What do you got in the way?
Just where you are.
Next one. Get him, Mike. Watch your run, Steve. Watch your run.
4 minutes on the clock here in what will be the Premiership presentation match for Gold Coast Knights. They lost their round one fixture to Brisbane City and then went on quite the rampage for having some mixed results in the back end of the season. They were indeed hit by injuries and a congested fixture list, having had many a game rained off with plenty of weather down the coast. They have certainly finished strong. And 3 goals to the good here, 3 second half goals. Paloma Oliveira, Claire Farrington and Harriet Withers on the score sheet. Emily Clark to keep her wits about it in the first half. A few chances there for Sunshine Coast Wanderers. But in the end, nothing too troublesome. And Emily Clark will now make way. We'll see Samantha Hughes come on and get some minutes. And Yamaguchi also making way. Sammy Hughes, another one who gives her coach a scare every now and then getting the futsal boots on, although he is the leader of the Crusaders. But we have heard some injuries across the squads over the seasons from them playing futsal as that season does commence just in the latter stages of the NPL campaign. Sam Hughes, Philippines international rep, has had a couple of appearances throughout the season. So what a player to bring on. She's had some international experience representing the Philippines on her resume. And Laura Elliott, wearing the number 13, was the player to come on for Hinata Yamaguchi. Another one getting some time back on the ball, having been missing due to injury. Came off the bench in round 23, scored against the academy side. It was a cracking goal as well for Laura Elliott. Lions have just found their 6th, academy making them wait. Good play there at the back from Ashley Hughes. Glyn Boyd giving minutes to plenty of his subs in the latter stages of the game. There's been a few youngsters who've had to step up as the injuries have crept in throughout the back end of the season for the Knights side. Cross it goes for Hartley. Hartley does very well there. Down it goes for Piper Vigili. Can Wanderers find a goal? A little heavy touch there. And now Dom Spampiniado down the other end. She's going to selflessly send that one across for Withers, but it's cut out by Beck Horsey. Takamura clipped, but still manages to get the ball through for Amy Morland. The free kick will happen though. The referee's whistle had blown. Have a quick look around the grounds. Gold Coast United 1, Brisbane City 1. That score has not changed since the first half. Souths 0, Easts 14, and Olympic 3, Kapalaba 3. Into stoppage time here at Ballinger Park. Sunshine Coast Wanderers finishing their 2026 campaign in 7th spot. And a campaign, I think, that their coach and president Glenn Duncan will still be proud of. It's been a great campaign to see the core group of players come through and really cement themselves in their side and in their starting positions. I, for one, have been very impressed with the football I've been seeing from Sunshine Coast Wanderers. They've had some good results along the way. And players such as Jess Stafford, Piper Vigili, Macy Edward, showcasing their experience and their talent as they've grown in their games and grown through the ranks up on the Sunshine Coast. So plenty more to come from Sunshine Coast Wanderers. Tony Skinner's first year as coach, so we'll see. Be great to see him stick around, having had plenty of success in his tenure at Mitchelton FC. Lions now with 7. Really couldn't write it, could you? The goals flying in across the grounds. Lions and East knew they had to throw everything at this final fixture, just in the hope that this game tonight didn't go their way. East, of course, with a massive task with their goal difference. But they have thrown the kitchen sink at it, that's for sure. And there we have it, folks. Round 27 comes to a close. Gold Coast Knights close out the night as back-to-back premiers, sealing their 2nd consecutive NPL crown and adding yet another chapter to what is a remarkable rise since the introduction of women's football, senior women's football, back in 2023. From the launch of their women's programme, they've now collected 11 major trophies, built a winning identity and set a standard the rest of the league is chasing to meet. Congratulations to, of course, the players, and to Glyn Boyd, manager Brooke Goodrich, and the wider team, Elisa Brito, David McDonald, Jessica McLean, and Cody Dowell. 2 years in the top flight, and they are crowned premiers here this evening at Ballinger Park. Sunshine Coast Wanderers, a strong first half, but in the second half they just could not get a handle on possession. The stats speak for themselves. 10 shots on target for Glyn Boyd's side, 3 of them finding the back of the net. Stick with us here on FQTV. We will keep these pictures going as we will have the trophy presentation for Gold Coast Knights from me, Amy Webster, here on FQTV, it's been an absolute pleasure. We've got plenty of football still ahead of us. We've, of course, got the Kappa Queensland Cup next week, 22nd of August. We've got the final series. We've got the Mitre Festival of Football. And one exciting thing to mention is the inaugural Football Queensland Murray Cup will take place at Nudgee Recreation Reserve from the 28th to the 29th of November. For now, I'll leave you with these pictures as Gold Coast Knights quite rightly celebrate. And as mentioned, stick with us here on the stream as there will be the trophy presentation very shortly.
I got it. Don't even